It's bluefin time. It's nothing quite like those early morning starts in the middle of winter, heading out in search of southern bluefin tuna. Bluefin tuna would be one of my favourite foods to eat, especially in winter when it's cold, and just eating that nice fatty goodness over winter time. And it just feels so good for the body and good for the mind, good for the soul, and much the same as being out there chasing them. It's great to get the game gear out again in winter time, go in search of those birds out on the horizon. And as you can see, as we got out past the Aldi's on this day, there are birds everywhere. These bluefin are coming past East Cape, feasting up in the Bay of Plenty before they migrate north, and they're here to eat. So get out there and you search for the birds, search for the food, and sooner or later you're going to get amongst the action. Running a pretty typical spread here, a couple of deep diving cut face lures, a couple of pushes and a tuna bullet, and boom. Yo, the second one in. There you going, Deke? Number three.
Number three coming in.
Just two of us on board today, me and Dean, and with two on board, this third one caught on a nice tuna bullet that Dean made himself in Hawaii. We let this one go to fight another day. There's a limit on bluefin tuna, southern bluefin tuna, of one per person per day, and plenty of meat on one fish. We're pretty stoked.
What a morning! It's 10 o'clock, time to go home. That's a dream. Yo! 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 Fucking look under the sounder! There's bluefin everywhere!
Back into it. When we let that last tuna go on the first day, the sounder just lit up, the Bruno just lit up with fish everywhere on the sounder. And so the next window we had to get out there and amongst it, and these two boys got into their first southern bluefin tuna in the Bay of Plenty. Ski's actually caught northerns down south before. This is their first go at it up in the North Island, and we're pretty happy to get fish each, a double first off to the boys, and then a fish for the skipper later on, so we got one each, which we're pretty stoked about, coming home with a fish each again. And I feel very grateful to have had a nice feed of southern bluefin tuna, and to have a go cooking it up in a lot of different ways that I'm going to share with you in this video today.
Awesome, bro.
Tuna are different from other fish in that they are warm-blooded, and so it's important to get them gutted at sea, bleed them and gut them at sea and pack them full of ice. They come home nice and cold, and then pretty much everything from here is edible. So I'm chopping the wings off, and I'm going to show you how I cook the wings up. That's the first part of the fish, so fatty and beautiful. I cook them while they're fresh in a roasting pan, on top of some celery and rosemary, over the top some garlic, some herbs like parsley, oregano, thyme, some garlic, a squeeze of lemon or lime, turmeric, bit of cumin, and then in the roasting dish about half an hour on about 150 until the meat in the middle is tender, and then just spoon it out, serve it with some roast agria. See that, just that juicy fatty goodness with roast buds, just can't beat it. The rest of the frame, just spoon the meat off, and I tend to the first night make a nice tuna tartare. So mix it up with some lime, capers, gherkin, and add into that some fresh herbs. Alongside that, I'd typically do like a typical like soy, wasabi, sesame, tuna tartare mix as well. But this one's a nice zesty, herby, lemony goodness that I've whizzed up with a bit of garlic and herbs and lemon with just the tuna offcuts, and then I've served it up. Got a tuna tartare, like a soy sesame tartare, and then some tuna tataki as well. Absolutely stunning first meal. For the tataki, I take a nice square of some of the best loin, roll it in Cajun mix sesame seeds, black and white, and then just sear it all sides in the pan, leave it nice and pink in the middle, and that is beautiful tuna tataki. Bluefin tuna churshimi, just a nice drizzle of wasabi, sesame oil, soy, topped with spring onion. Bluefin nigiri, again, what an absolute cracker this is. Pretty simple. Make your sushi rice, mix in some rice wine vinegar, top with some really nice slices of sashimi, and top with some flowers. Bluefin tuna Wellington. Man, this was an absolute cracker. I reckon bluefin is very much like beef once you cook it, and so some mushrooms together with that tuna I reckon goes pretty well. Here I've mixed in some wasabi with the mushrooms, some thyme and some garlic, made a nice paste which I've used to coat a tuna loin, and then I've wrapped it up in bok choy, which with wasabi I reckon it's got a really nice complementary flavour. And then I'm rolling that in a pastry and forming a tuna Wellington, much like a beef Wellington. Glazing it with egg, and then I'm cooking that at about 180 in the oven. It's a flaky pastry, 180, and it's come out really nice. Pretty happy with how it came out, still pink in the middle. And I tell you what, this is one of the nicest meals I've had in a long time. Sliced it, then I've topped it with sprouts to give it a bit of crunch, and made a nice sort of onion wasabi drizzle to go over the top of that. Absolutely beautiful. Gluten-free tuna dumplings. Tuna dumplings are a nice way to use up the offcuts. Here I've used a mix of gluten-free flours, chickpea flour, rice flour, tapioca flour, and some xanthan gum to make some gluten-free dumpling wrappers. Using a glass to make them. Then inside it goes bluefin mixed up with spring onion and some sesame oil, and then just easy fry in the fry pan. Served it up with some tataki. Bluefin tuna, can't beat it. You can find the more detailed recipes in the description section of this video, and you can also go to our website www.theprovider.co.nz. If you enjoyed these recipes, let us know in the comments section below. And if you'd like to come out on an adventure and catch and cook and learn how to cook some of your own kai moana, get in touch with us at www.theprovider.co.nz. We take people fishing, we teach people how to catch fish, and we also teach people how to cook it up and look after their minds and bodies with good food, because after all, food is medicine and medicine is food. Goodbye for now, and thanks for listening and watching. This is Carl from Provider, www.theprovider.co.nz.